launch day.
Happy launch day! Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The Black
How-
MS Narrative Project podcast, girl.
Yes, we are here and we are
Yeah.
so excited. I'm excited. I could speak for us and say we're excited.
Well, I guess we need to tell the people who we are.
Yes. Listen, can we just start off with a human being check-in? Girl, how are you?
Well, my name is Mimi Cowens. I'm one of the co-founders of the Black MS Narrative Project podcast. And during this part of the show, we're doing what's called human being check-in. So I'm doing well. I don't feel any pain. I am excited about today. I think if I could just categorize how I'm feeling in one word, it is just exuberant. I'm exuberant about
What a good
what is
word.
coming, what this podcast is going to represent in the atmosphere and in the landscape, as it relates to African Americans who are impacted by MS. And I am just exuberant about the possibilities. So I feel great. I'm excited. What about you?
Yes. Ooh, I am Victoria Campbell, and I am the co-founder of the Black MS Narrative Project. Today, I have to say that I had physical therapy, and I am tired. I am fatigued, but
Mhm,
I'm just so overwhelmed with gratitude to
mhm.
be in this space that we're in right now, that I'm able to have this conversation with you, that we can share this vision with the world, especially our community, right? Not just those that are living with, thriving with multiple sclerosis, but
Right.
their family members, their caregivers, their doctors. There's so much of it. And having this space it brings me that energy that I need right now.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of planning. We've been doing a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of phone calls, a lot of texting, a lot of Marco Polos. Girl,
Hmm.
Victoria and I talk, y'all, every day.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when something is God breathed and opportunity meets um willing participation, right?
Yeah.
Like I called Victoria. So first of all, I guess we should say how we met and how this kind of came to be, because literally, y'all, we've been working on this for about 2 months.
Well, we've been directly working on it for 2 months.
Right.
The passion, and I think the idea formulated in both of us
Mm-hmm.
separately
Mm-hmm.
year years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came together finally and said,
Right.
let's do this.
Let's do this. And the thing is, it's like we
Let's do
were
this.
both aware that yes, we're living with this disease that is unpredictable, that attacks our nervous system, right? That is our reality. But because Victoria and I are both two Black female creatives, I am an actress, singer. Um, we learned quickly that our art helps us to heal. And so
Yes,
I
yes.
say, like we met during like a year ago. We both did this seminar called the Landmark Forum together. And we ended up in all of these like breakout rooms together. So I'll let you explain what the Landmark Forum is. But basically, we were both in places in our lives where we needed some help in forgiveness, overcoming some things that were holding us back, and we needed to let go of some past traumas to like move forward in the world. So we ended up in this space called the Landmark Forum.
Well, you
Learn.
explained it perfectly just there.
Well, I know you got even more because you have more of a connection, but we both learned that we both had MS. And that, of course, is like, oh, someone else who is dealing with this. And we learned that by talking about it with one another, it helped to validate what we're going through, how we're feeling. And then late in 23, I was just like, the Lord just dropped in my spirit that, we needed to, that I needed to create something like this, and I needed the right partner who understood. And when I tell you, it was like a spark, fire. When I told Victoria I want to do this, she said, "Let's do it."
Yeah, well, that's the thing. God was working on us separately and at the same
Yeah.
time, because Mimi, while she's having this encounter, I had a pseudo relapse, right?
Mm.
That's when you have a relapse, but it's not causing new lesions. It's really just the flare up of your old ones. I had a pseudo relapse and I'm in the hospital now, January of 2024, and I'm shaking my fist at the heavens. God, why am I here again? I was feeling the best I had in a very long time, and to be back in the hospital, it was just downloaded to me that I've been wanting to do something for so long, but I was hindering myself. There was fear. I think you can say that it was fear. And so the Mimi popped in my mind. She and I kept in touch for just over and over in different ways, and we didn't start talking daily until that phone call. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Didn't have to think about it. Didn't say, you know what? Let me just think on it. You know how we do, girl. I don't know. I don't know if I got the capacity to do that. I don't know. I mean, and then let's just keep
Right.
it
Or,
real,
oh
right?
no, I'm in the hospital. I can't.
Right. She could easily say, I'm in the hospital. I need to focus on getting better. I don't want to talk about none of this. But in many ways, us talking every day while she was in that hospital bed was healing for her.
Mm.
And I'll never forget the day when we were talking about what our logo needed to look like. So directly behind her head, you see that, y'all? You see that peacock? She drew this woman. So, okay, I shared my art. I'm an actress and a singer. Okay. This one right here,
Yes,
actress,
I'm an
singer,
actress and a
dancer.
dancer, singer. I dabble in art. I am not the I am an artist. I'm just, yes, I
And she
am.
drew that, y'all. She drew that peacock. And when she sent it to me in a text, I said, that's our logo. That's our logo. And so if you'll look above my head, you'll see we had a logo designed for us that has a peacock on it. Let's see if we can show a bigger picture of it.
Yes.
And that peacock has the MS ribbon around its neck. And it has the name of our project, the Black MS Narrative Project, and what we designed that for, to empower Black voices and ignite healing journeys. Because peacocks symbolize a whole lot
Mm.
of things, honey. Tell them what, girl, you started rattling off, because at first, the first idea was to put the different things inside of the peacock feathers that peacock symbolize. That didn't really work out,
Right.
but it symbolizes so much, right?
Oh my goodness. And we are definitely planning to continue to build upon this. But the peacock, I initially drew a peacock and then we decided for it to be our logo because it represents resilience, strength, beauty, regrowth, uh uh what is this called?
Passion.
Passion, just what it like coming together, right? It
Mhm,
represents all of these wonderful things that we as a people, right,
mhm,
really embody, but in our desire to help empower the voices of the
mhm,
Black community impacted by MS,
mhm.
we recognize that the peacock really does embody all of that.
It really does. And so we
Mhm.
thought, why not use this peacock as a symbol of strength, um, and beauty? Sure, this is an ugly disease, but there's so much beauty in the art. It's beauty in the arts. It's healing in the arts. And
Mhm.
there's beauty in our lives, right? And so the peacock really just embodied all of that. And then this design came to be. So it's just really, really dope. I really love our logo.
I do too. I do too. I think it's really important too to talk about just how we would be empowering Black voices through this nonprofit pending
Mm-hmm.
um, just project that we are starting up.
Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons we wanted to make it a nonprofit is because there is a whole community out there impacted by this disease that there is inequity around their care. I mean, one thing we're gonna speak on this show is truth to power. And it
Yes.
may not be something that everybody wants to hear or even agree with, but as African Americans, we know it to be true. At the end of the day, many of us are shut out from information that we don't have access to. We're shut out to health care that we can't afford. And we're shut out to cutting edge technologies that are reserved for the wealthy or for people who have their finger on the pulse of what is going on in the medical community that we don't always have that access to have. And so what ends up happening is we don't talk about it.
Hmm.
We are filled with shame around it. We're filled with fear because we don't understand it. And we just kind of go back into a bubble and just hurt and deal with it because that's what
Right.
we do. And we don't seek out or advocate for ourselves because we don't know where to start. And so we wanted to create this organization from the 501c3 side of things to help put that community that is misplaced, displaced, and set to the side and dismissed up front and center to access information and a community where they can kind of brain bounce with each other. There's my light going away. Where they can brain bounce with each other and talk about it, right?
Yes,
So
and
we're a
tell their
storytelling
story.
platform, but we're
Mhm.
also a nonprofit pending.
Yes, you know what, and we're gonna shout out the Black MS Experience, the National MS Society, I believe is trying. They're trying to recognize and bring to the forefront some of the very real differences in this disease in Black people and in other cultures. It is different. And it's different to have a conversation with someone that looks like you about what's going on.
Come on.
Someone that has some of the cultural background. We weren't all raised by the same mama, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of similarities that we can, you know what it's like to have the conversation. It's different and to
It
share.
is
And
different.
so shout out to the Black MS Experience that is doing a wonderful job, I think, trying to educate around these symptoms and not medical professionals have done a lot of research and we do have a lot of knowledge behind us, but our desire is for us to tell our stories.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many ways to tell your story.
Yeah.
You can tell your story, you can dance your story, you can sing your story, you can draw your story, you can whatever. If you are creative, whatever way you want to tell your story,
Mm-hmm.
regardless, the telling of it, there's so much research behind the healing that takes place in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to cope and share and connect. And there's a as Mimi
Uh-oh.
said,
There we go. Oh, she back. Yeah, you're breaking up. You're
I
breaking up
saw the
just a
light.
little bit. You're breaking up just a little bit to your mic.
Mm.
So say that last part again. You said there's so much healing You can sing your story,
Yes.
dance your story, tell your story, right? Because we're a storytelling
Mhm.
platform. And that there's so much healing. And then I missed that last part.
I was just mentioning a lot of the research that's around what happens chemically in our brains that truly brings about healing, and healing not just of the mind and attitude and mindset, which are very important, but also physical healing. The body responds to that positive energy that's being created.
And, faith comes by hearing. So the more you
Mhm.
kind of speak into yourself, you're going to heal yourself, but you're also going to validate something that someone else needs to hear and help heal them too. So storytelling is a powerful medium that not only um, heals the storyteller, but others living with the disease as well.
Mhm.
So one of the, we really wanted to do this to help encourage conversations, right, that foster healing. And then through collective power, we have a community that just promotes healing and inspiration through culturally relevant storytelling and artistic expression that centers the Black experience. And that is something that is unique to us as a people. So that's why the Black MS Narrative Project is here, y'all.
Yeah.
We need an applause. We need an applause for
So
that. We need.
listen, we're super excited because these episodes are not just going to be me and Mimi talking. I mean, of course, we are, as the hosts and the co-founders, going to be a part, but what we want is for you, your family members, your doctors, your friends, your whoever it is in your community to come on and talk and be with us in this journey toward healing. We
Mhm.
have a few episodes already planned where we are going to go in more depth with Mimi's story and what she has journeyed through and how she has come to call herself an MS thriver,
Mhm.
right? Not just living with MS, because you can live, but
Mhm.
to thrive.
Mhm. Mhm.
That I also will be sharing part of my story, but then we have spouses coming on, we have children coming on, we have doctors and nurses and pregnant women. We have some really great things planned coming soon.
Right. And but we really just kind of wanted this first episode to really just be about the why. Why did we do this? What is it and why did we do it? And we thought that,
Mhm.
it was important for you all to get to know us a little bit.
Yeah.
So Victoria, like you've been living with MS since the age of 19, right?
Yeah. So I was diagnosed at 19. I was in college. At the time in 2008, the range they said was between 20 and 65 to be diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And so here I was at 19. I worked at a summer camp, and as we know, heat just makes everything go haywire here. So there were a lot of issues that I was having. And so to slowly learn, because the process is never quick, it's never quick, but to slowly learn that this was the condition that I would be living with for the rest of my life hit differently.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, like we said, we'll go more into our stories later on. But what I will say is that the highs and lows of life all started 16 years ago. And if I had something like this then, if I had the opportunity to connect, whether it be virtually or in person, by the way, we will be doing some in person initiatives as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I had this, just how different have been earlier, but grateful that we have this now.
Mm-hmm.
Truly,
Mm-hmm.
truly grateful. And Mimi, why don't you tell us then just about how long you've been walking through this journey?
Right. Well, I got diagnosed in 2015. I was 43 at the time. I'm 51 now. I'll be 52 in August.
Mm,
And
looking
it
good,
was
girl.
okay. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, but like the first 7 years of the disease, y'all, I didn't even medicate. I didn't take one disease modifying therapy. I didn't take anything because my first 7 years, I knew something was wrong. Okay. And so because of the things that were happening in my body, it was a 2-year journey toward the proper diagnosis. And now we'll get into that later when
Right.
we talk about our stories in depth.
Hmm.
But once diagnosed, at the time I was married and we were trying to conceive. Now, of course, at 43, that is an uphill battle, wrought with fertility doctors and medications and hormone this and IUI that, but I didn't medicate because I said, well, I don't really like the biologics or the side effects. So I want to try to just, conceive and not take anything. And at that time, my symptoms were pretty manageable and I wasn't experiencing what I started to experience uh, starting at age 49.
Mm.
Okay. So at 49, I needed to start doing something, and we'll get into that a little bit more as to why I started to medicate. But um, this has been a journey. And one of the things that you'll discover is that everybody's journey is different,
Hmm.
but the destination is the same. We all want a cure one day.
Right.
We want this disease cured because it shows up when it wants to, how it wants to, where it wants to. It doesn't care if you about to have a baby. It doesn't care if you about to get married. It doesn't care if you about to go on stage. It does not care. And just like Victoria said, in January, she ended up back in the hospital
Hmm.
after going almost vegan, changing her lifestyle, doing a lot of things that not even using her assisted walking device, needing to depend on it anymore, and then this pseudo exacerbation happens. So MS does what it wants to, y'all. And so we're going to talk about a lot of those things, how it makes you feel, and then how you overcome, and how you just don't let it, control your. Yes, granted, it can be tough. There'll be some days, and many people who are living with MS are taking an antidepressant because the reality of it is hard,
It's
right?
tough. Yeah.
But it doesn't have to leave you in a place of just despondency and just depression. And so we're just going to talk about how you can overcome.
Yeah, and let's
Overcome.
talk
Oh,
about it.
MS overcomers.
Let's give each other ideas because we don't have all the answers.
No, we don't.
Not at all. I mean, God has blessed us with a lot of really great skills and talents and things that we can share with you what we have done, what we've
Mhm.
learned about even just in our studies and our experiences. And then I want you to come on with whatever you have found out is has worked for you. What to heal yourself, to bring yourself up, to and that can impact somebody else, whether it be someone thriving with MS, their husband, their daughter, their kids. I have two babies. I have an 8-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. And parenting with MS it's tough. It is. And if you are one that receives the National MS Society magazine, Momentum, I believe is one. There's a few others.
Mhm.
They do such a wonderful job of highlighting and showing the different areas of life that change because of this MS.
Mhm.
Here at the Black MS Narrative Project, our desire is to now bring that into, as Mimi said, a culturally relevant space that we can talk
Mhm.
about it and prayerfully continue to heal at that in this space.
Mhm. Mhm. And I want to take this opportunity to just say that if you're liking what you're hearing and you are like, oh my gosh, I don't have MS, but I know some people who do, or I have MS, I want to know more. Y'all, please just like, share, subscribe,
Mhm.
definitely hit that notification bell so that every time we upload, every time we go live, you will get a notification.
Yes.
Because we want this to become a movement, y'all. And I believe that it will. We already talking about merch, y'all. Let me show y'all what we got in the, honey, we didn't just, okay. So you see this right here. You see this right here. We started,
Mhm.
we started looking at different ways to illuminate this beautiful logo. And y'all, look at this tumbler. This is gorgeous. We just got this is our prototype. We did a little cute unboxing video because I got mine in the mail and Victoria got hers in the mail and we opened them at the same time. But like, we want people to be carrying things like this, to talk about it and encouraging folks to join the community.
Yeah.
Go and like our Facebook page, our we have an
Instagram.
Instagram page,
Mhm.
our YouTube, like everything that has the Black MS Narrative Project on it, y'all, and join, and then
Yeah, and
submit.
listen, that helps us out because the algorithm, I don't know if you know all the algorithm stuff and how the things work,
Right.
but when they see that people are liking, subscribing, they want to see more, they want to hear more, then we're able to do that. We are able to bring more people on and broadcast more and ignite more healing
Mm-hmm.
in that space.
Yeah, and then like as the Facebook group grows, I mean, y'all know Facebook is a place where all kind of conversations thrive. And so we'll be getting a lot of our ideas from you guys. You can even email us if you want to and just let us know, hey, I really liked it. Y'all should talk about this next. Or, hey, I want to be a guest. How do I? And so the way to become a guest on our show is to simply, we made it real easy, y'all. Send us an email. See that email right there? The blackmsnarrativeproject.com. All right. Don't give us we don't want no thesis.
Right.
We don't need a capstone. Just send us a couple of paragraphs about you. Tell us how long you've been living and thriving with MS. And if you're a fellow creative like Victoria and myself, tell us more about your creative expression.
Mhm.
Right. And then we'll follow up with you all. We'll try to get back to you within 48 hours and set up a time where we can talk and possibly get you on the show. So we are in a space right now where we're information gathering.
Mhm.
We are information gathering because we want this to grow and balloon and blossom and just explode onto the scene, because we need to be talking about this disease, and too many of us go into the shadows and don't.
Mhm.
Especially us, as we don't talk about stuff because we don't want nobody in our business, and don't nobody
Mm.
need to know we got nothing, and God gonna heal us. And so I don't receive that diagnosis in the name of Jesus. And granted, God can heal. We know He's a healer, okay? But the reality is, the longer that you go without medicine, and we'll bring doctors on to verify this, but the longer that you go without some kind of disease modifying therapy, the worse this disease will be for you on the back end of it.
Mm.
And the thing about MS, it is a progressive disease. The disease modifying therapy slow the progression. Remember back in the day, I'm talking years ago, I remember this, and this is a painful memory, but I'm going to share it. I'm a child of the 70s. I was born in 72. Okay. And we had a neighbor. I grew up in Gary, Indiana. I had a neighbor who, one of their daughters had MS, and she was older lady. And I remember seeing her over the years walking, then not walking well.
Mm.
So she had a very staggered gait. She never used a cane, but she had a very clearly, there was an affliction in the way she walked and moved. Her body almost looked like a snake as she walked. And then I remember there were times where she would crawl down the street, almost slither and pull herself down the street. And then probably one of the last images that I remember in my mind was her in a wheelchair. MS is not that disease anymore. The medicines are better.
Right.
People are not dying from this disease anymore if they get proper treatment. Okay, so we're going to talk about the hard stuff. We're going to talk about the
Yeah.
painful stuff.
Oh my
We're going to
goodness.
share some of the things that have been our scariest experiences with this disease. Yeah, we dress it up and we both cute and all. But you know what? We're going to talk about that mask too,
Yes,
where we
all
try
of
to
it.
act like everything is okay. Because it's honestly, it's an invisible disease too.
Mm.
And because you have those good days, our families and friends sometimes forget. And as soon as you tell somebody, well, I have MS, the first thing they go is, oh, don't all me, honey. I'm living and
So, have you gotten this
thriving.
one? You don't look like you have MS.
How I'm supposed to look.
Well, and and I think that's really what the awareness is about, right? It's really about helping people understand there is no look, there is no one indicator that someone is dealing with this
Mhm.
disease, and it's so much that we can share as far as the hard parts, the storms, the discomforts, the frustrations, please. But you know what? And a friend of mine said it the best. There is a gift in there somewhere. We have to think about the blessings. We have to truly, truly, and it almost sounds cliche, but you have to seek out the positives. Let me tell you, I don't know if Mimi and I would be nearly as close as we are had we not had this shared experience, but I would not trade it for anything. I love you, girl.
I love you too. And that's a gift. That's one of the gifts
That's a
that
gift.
God gave me, Victoria.
Mm,
Okay. God gave me her as a gift. And what brought us together was our lived experience with this disease.
yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Mm,
That's beautiful. So that's why we want you all to help us. Okay. There are ways, that you can donate um to us. We have Cash App. And we're working on our website. We're in the beginning phases of this. And we love that we're in the beginning phases of this because you're going to get to grow with us. You're going to get to grow with us. And you're going to get to watch us move the needle around this conversation and the conversations that need to be happening. You're going to get to see us. You're going to, and eventually, prayerfully, we're going to have a way for you to order this and drop ship it, y'all. And the people out there that's listening that can help us,
yeah. Yes.
help us, y'all, help
Yes,
us.
please
We
do.
are not afraid or too proud to ask for help,
Yeah.
because we don't know all the answers. Sure, we've done a lot of legwork leading up to this very moment, and we've been told by many of our mentors, tell them what we're working on, tell them that we're 501c3 pending, right? Because then you'll know that when we're getting ready to plan our big events and conferences and workshops, that the work that we've done getting trying to get those grants and getting ourselves prepared for that is all to give back. We don't want to hold it all in. We want to give it back. That's why we created this podcast and this community of the Black MS Narrative Project.
Mhm.
And there on the screen, there is a way you can Cash App us at the BMSNP. Again, that's the BMSNP. And you can send any size donation to help us in this
Oh my
process.
gosh,
But
anything would
stuff be
help. Is
costed. Stuff be costing. The
all of it.
StreamYard subscription,
The
the, the,
websites,
the
the
website, the Canva,
mhm, mhm.
all the things.
All the things just at this level, like and then, I'm believing in the reach that we can have even beyond America, even
Mhm.
beyond we're everywhere. We
Yes.
truly are. And so to have that conversation with someone that lives across the waters.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. The thought of that.
Mm,
That was it. And let's just be clear. Yes, we are centering the experiences of Black people, but you do not have to be Black to be a guest on this show.
Thank you.
or to add value to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to acknowledge that there are disparities
Mm-hmm.
that we as a people have to overcome that do place us in this marginalized space. But that does not limit who we are or the power that we have.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
This is
Mimi,
so
I'm so full. I feel like there's so much more I want to say and that I want to bring out and to share with everyone.
Well, I'll tell you what you can share, honey. You can share them
Mhm.
earrings. Y'all, she made so we were talking about what we gonna wear. Okay. So Victoria said, I think we should wear black and I think we should wear peacock feathers. So I went into the people's closet, honey. I went and found me all the black. I wear black all the time. I'm a spa owner. I'm a former makeup artist, and there's so many other levels to me. We didn't even really dive deep into who we are
Mm-mm.
beyond the creative, okay? And so half my closet is black. So when she said, let's wear black, I said, oh, I think I got that covered. Okay.
Right.
And so I found these and then I looked at her earrings and I said, oh, you got to, oh, I need a pair of those. So we're going to honey, you go on and get to making those. I'm sure a whole lot of somebody's will buy
Oh
them.
yes. I'm not showing this one because some of the feathers fell off, but
Girl, that's all right. Hide it with your hair. Mm-hmm.
yes,
Pretty.
I did make these, and I have other things. I love to make jewelry, and I will say that, one of the unfortunate symptoms that I've had has affected the numbness and tingling in my fingertips, and it's made it hard
Yeah.
to make things. But when I do make them, oh, I put so much of myself into them, right? There's so much love. There's so much. Mm,
And who knows, there may be someone listening who says, you know what, I want to help Victoria. I want to be Victoria's hands.
ugh.
Show me what to do, Victoria. And I'm a former jewelry maker from I don't know where, from Africa, and I can help you. In fact, I know how to get you a whole bunch of feathers. What can
Oh,
I do? Honey, I'm speaking to things. We manifesting things, honey. We are
yes.
under an open heaven. We can manifest and speak whatever we want because we're not going to limit the divine in this. We're
Mm,
not going to limit the possibilities in this. Sure, you may not be able to have full function of your fingertips, but there's somebody out there. There's a team of somebody who can help us make those
yeah.
earrings. I'm gonna just go on and speak it because I want me a pair.
Sure. Yes. Well, let me just say it is a good day in the finger world.
Mhm.
But
Mine too. I was waking up. So I was a little late on my DMT last month and I missed a dose. Again, we'll talk about what that can do. And I'm on Tysabri and I missed a dose. And for 4 weeks, I had the worst spasticity I'd ever had.
mhm.
Spasticity is when one of your limbs gets super stiff and heavy and you can't lift it. Like my right thigh was so heavy. And I was waking up every morning. My right hand was numb. And I have to just shake it out for like 2 to 3 minutes for it to just wake up. Um, and I just recently started a new disease modifying therapy in addition to my Tysabri. And it was a 5-day experimental drug, which if you go to our YouTube, I posted a video diary of all 5 days. Okay. Cause it's a
Yeah.
5-day therapy. And y'all, I don't have any numbness in my hands. So those are the things that, that's important. When you have a good day, a good pain day where it's like, oh, I've not had any pain in that one area that hurts all the time for 4 good hours. Whoo, I'm going to take that. I'm going to
Yeah.
take that and I'm just going to relish in that. But then let's talk about the fact that there is even PTSD in pain, and muscle memory in pain. If
Hmm.
you hurt every day and then you have one good day where you don't, your body is almost going to assimilate back to how you hold yourself, or if you're bent over with pain and one day you can really sit up.
When you are in
If you've
pain.
been bent over for 5 days and on day 6 you can sit up, are you really going to sit all the way up? No, your body's going to almost default back to that stance. And so And then you're going to brace
Mm,
yourself. Well, I know, okay, I may not be feeling pain right now, but it's coming back. So let me brace myself for it. So, like, we're going to talk about mindfulness practices and ways to, like, really help yourself heal and not default to the negative aspects of things so that you can focus on the positive and focus on the healing.
right. So
Mindfulness.
now, don't get us wrong. We're not talking about pretending. Not at all.
Right.
By no stretch of the imagination is that our goal, because
Right.
there's no healing in pretending, in masking, uh in what's that called when you just keep it inside?
Mm-hmm.
Internalizing.
Internalizing. Yeah.
Yes, there is no healing in that. Rather, allowing that opportunity to express it, bring it out, talk about it. And now that it's here and it's laid out, we're able to point out, like Mimi said, the positive, the
Mm-hmm.
pain-free moments and days, those opportunities that you had to be with your children at the park. And it's been months, you couldn't walk. These moments.
Mm-hmm.
So I am
Talk about it. Talk about it. I see you. I see you. Talk about it.
I was thinking about my kids, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to talk to them. Mimi, you're gonna have to interview them because I don't know that I could hold it together.
Okay.
I didn't know if I could have kids in the beginning. Now, 2008, medications have come a long way from the beginning to 2008, and then even from 2008 till now.
Mm-hmm.
Such a long way. But in 2008, they told me, we're not sure if you can have kids on this medication, or if you're taking this medication, you can't have kids. It was one or the other. And there was a lot of fear language that was spoken at me, to me, right? And as much as I tried to block it, I'm not taking it. I'm not, it's there, the fear,
Take your time.
so I'm grateful. Like it's such a loaded term for me to say. I had 2 babies. My journeys during pregnancy and afterwards are so different, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful for, not just for them, but for what they have walked through life, through with me through life.
Mm-hmm. They walked alongside you on this journey.
Yes, my
Mm-hmm.
daughter is 8, and she is so compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
My son is 2. He's silly compassionate. But he's there's so much compassion, not just for me, but for anyone. My daughter had a classmate whose mother was sick,
Mm-hmm.
and she said the other kids didn't understand, and they avoided him because they didn't know what to say, but she did, because she lived through this and she was able to be there for him.
And tell me, what did she say?
So Peyton, I asked her if I could interview her and if she would feel comfortable being interviewed. And I don't want to steal her thunder, but she said, I said, Peyton, you can help me come up with some questions. And she said, Mommy, I have the perfect question. What's it like to take care of your parent with MS? Her answer was, it's hard, but it's worth it.
You hear that from an 8-year-old baby? An 8-year-old baby who has watched her mother deal with this disease. And y'all, what Victoria is not telling you is she got diagnosed like she was about to get married. So her husband has journeyed alongside her too and walked into this marriage understanding fully that possibly they might not have children. And he has been there all along, and so have the children. So These are the triumphant stories that MS does not have to limit you. You know, like who's the so Christina
Hmm.
Applegate and what's her name? Ziegler. Jamie Ziegler. They
I
just
think it's
created a podcast.
yes,
Um
messy.
and hmm.
It's called Messy. Their podcast.
Oh, it's called Messy. Okay.
Hmm.
And so, you know, they have I think they've kind of like retired from acting. Or are very limiting in terms of like the roles that they take because again, you know,
Hmm.
with this disease, you just don't know. And acting, you know, I've done a lot of stage, I've done some movie, but it is grueling. It's a very grueling, you know, the days are long. And so, especially if you have a very obvious symptom where you need a cane or you have like an ocular neuritis or there's some kind of, you know, muscle imbalance in your face or something like that. And you know, with actors, your face is your calling card, your body is your calling card. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, it's how you show up on the project. And so, you know, their lives are completely different. They come from a place of privilege, okay? And they are entertainers, so they have wealth and access to things that possibly we don't. But the one thing we all have is this disease.
Yeah.
And so, how it shows up for you is your story. How it shows up for us is our story.
Our story.
And we want to hear
Mhm.
your story.
We do. We do. So, like Mimi said earlier, please email us. Email us at the Black MS Narrative Project at gmail.com.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
want to hear your story.
That's right. Again, you know, and be sure to include in your 2 paragraphs, in your max of 2 paragraphs.
Don't write too much.
Honey, please. Okay, please. In your max, if you are a creative like us, let us know that because we want to know that about you
Yeah.
because we know that artistic expression is a form of healing and storytelling is a form of healing too.
This being one of them.
So, this being one of them. So, I
Mhm.
think with that, we're probably going to be wrapping this up. And so, we want to, of course, encourage you please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Tell everybody that you know about it, okay? Because I'm telling you,
Yes.
y'all, we're on fire and the frequency of this, we're going to do these every second and fourth Wednesday. We're going to drop an episode, whether it'll be a live or not, we don't know. We are interested in doing a live at least once a month, but every second and fourth Wednesday is when you'll see us. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Tell as many people as you can about
Yes.
this because this is getting ready to be a movement, y'all.
Listen, and we are committed to show up. We are
Mhm.
committed. We said, listen, if it's a not so great day and I need to show up in my robe, if we're having some pain and discomfort, we said we are committed to show up for each other.
Mhm. Mhm. That's right.
It doesn't be long, but just showing up
Mhm.
for
It's the difference.
you, for yourself makes all
Mhm.
the difference in the world. Listen, when I Mimi, you were talking about the camera is right there, like the livelihood of the actress we were just discussing. You know, I would just was reminded that one of my symptoms is I have this like lip droop when I'm really tired or stressed or overwhelmed. And I at one point decided, well, we're just not going to film if my eye is acting up and my lip is drooping and I can't speak. I'm having word aphasias, mixing up words and forgetting words.
Mhm. I
And I
do that a
remember
lot.
you said to me, but that's what we're doing.
That's what we're
That's
doing.
the
And y'all,
authenticity is bringing all of that.
yeah, and it's scary. I mean, like I okay, so real quick, my background was in news. I was a news producer for 12 years. I was a communications strategist. If you combine my work as a media spokeswoman for the Museum of Natural Sciences, that was another 12 years. plus 5 years as a comm strategist. So when you work in public relations, both as a front-facing media spokesperson and someone who was behind the veil with a nonprofit, which is what I was, who did coaching and training for others, I have to be on point with my words. I am a wordsmith. I have to
Mhm.
be able to tell you how to message and coach you through the messaging. I have to show you how to pitch a story to the media to get your story covered. Whenever I would have a word aphasia, it would make me so mad because my brain, the brain fog is real. And you be trying to find a word, and then the word you think that you found is the wrong word, or you mix it up. It's embarrassing. And when you're someone who has to speak for a living or use your words are the way you make money. It's a scary thing when that interferes with you being able to do your job. Thank God it never interfered with me never being able to do my job, but it was a present and real fear
Mhm.
because I knew that there were times when I did that and I mixed up words and phrases, or the wrong word came out when I was trying to say something else. It's so real.
Yeah.
So real. Mm.
You know, it's so interesting because the impact word aphasia had on your life, and for myself as a teacher being in front of middle schoolers, it was almost, although it was frustrating, I had to very quickly learn to just laugh at it and tell the kids, "Okay, if you can figure out what I meant to say, you get extra points," just whatever that looked like. I send my siblings even now word aphasia of the day, and they're usually just things that you couldn't do if you tried, right?
Mhm.
So having that experience very different from yours, like, right, this is these are our stories. It's not the same. We both have aphasias.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. And
Yes.
so we're here
Well,
to empower your voice.
yes.
So we're going to empower your voice. If you're having a word aphasia, we're going to own it. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to say, but word aphasia of the day.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what that was,
We
right?
should start a word aphasia of the day on our social.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, in closing, um, we are two Black female creatives who came together for the purpose of creating a storytelling platform to ignite the healing journey of African Americans impacted by MS.
Yeah.
And we want you to be a part of it. You, whether you have the disease or not, if you know someone impacted by the disease, share this podcast with them. Okay. Well, with that, y'all, thank you for just tuning in today.
Yes, thank you. We are grateful.
We are grateful. We are grateful.
All right.
And if you want to donate to us, that's our Cash App, $ the BMSNP.
Mhm.
All right. Well, signing off for now.
Signing off. Let's heal together.
Let's heal together. I love it. Bye, girl.
Bye.